Hi there, welcome to this Max Moment. I'm excited to be with you. This one's going to be a little bit different. A lot of times I do videos for the Max Moments, but I decided to do a recording, just kind of switch things up a little bit. Hopefully you like it. The message is still going to be the same, which is going to be powerful, a moment of insight that can hopefully change your life. So in the spirit of it being November, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, in the spirit of the season, this week, what I wanted to do is I wanted to share with you the power of an emotional state that we can all use to enhance our health, our happiness, and our overall success. And that is the emotion of gratitude. Because you see, our lives, they're hectic, right? They're hectic with daily schedules, with things that we feel like we have to do, places we feel like we have to be, deadlines that we feel like we have to meet. And with so many of these things that we feel we have to do, oftentimes keeping what is most important to us at the forefront of our schedule can oftentimes feel, overwhelming, right? And that is why it is so important to do what Stephen Covey says, and that is to keep the main thing the main thing. So let me ask you this. What if the main thing in your life was always gratitude, right? And not just once a year at Thanksgiving. That time of year, Thanksgiving right now, is when we always lean into this idea of gratitude. But what if the main thing in your life was always gratitude? Because you see, so much of our life is spent being worried, stressed, fearful, and so much so that gratitude takes this emotional backseat for the other 364 days of the year, right? But the simple fact is that when you are grateful, there is no room for these other emotions, right? It is physiologically impossible to be grateful and fearful at the same time. So when we're intentional about directing our focus towards all that we are thankful for, gratefulness, like a muscle, what it does is it becomes stronger within us, right? Because see how a muscle gains strength through being worked out repetitively, right? The emotion of gratitude strengthens within us when we repeatedly choose to practice it. Okay, does that make sense? So when we are focused on being grateful, then this is what I find, right? We find all the things that are right in our life versus finding all the things that is wrong in our life. When we're grateful, we find all the things that we do have in our life versus finding all the things that we don't have in our life. When we're grateful, we find all the ways to give of ourselves versus finding all the ways to get for ourselves. And when we're grateful, we find all the best qualities in other people versus finding all of the worst qualities in other people. Because see, William Arthur Wood said this. He said, gratitude can transform common days into thanksgiving, can turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. And so the lens through which you view life and all that happens to you while living it will ultimately determine the quality of your life. And you see, there are many people in this world who seemingly have everything, right? And they're miserable. And yet there are others who are faced with extreme tragedy and have nothing, and they're some of the happiest people on the planet. So why is that? Well, it's because problems and happiness have no relationship. Okay, let me say that again. Problems and happiness have no relationship. Like you can have lots of problems in your life and still be happy, just like you can have absolutely no problems and be totally unhappy, right? It all comes down to your perspective on what you focus on, because focus is power. And when you fix your eyes on being grateful, you begin to see your world and everything and everyone in it in a much different way. But unfortunately, and we know this to be true, most people will choose to focus on what's missing in their lives and in turn miss out on many of life's beautiful gifts. So, again, Stephen Covey, I've already mentioned him once, I'm going to say this again. He said this. He said, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. And I encourage you this week, this month, this year, I encourage you to make gratitude a daily priority and not just once a year on Thanksgiving. Like consciously schedule time each day to give thanks and think about all of the blessings in your life. Because when you're intentional with your thought process and gratefulness becomes a natural energy source, what's going to happen is you're going to be emotionally rich. And I want that for you. So happy Thanksgiving. As always, choose to make it a great day and always choose to live life to the max. I'll see you next time.